Have you ever wondered why some people stay calm when life falls apart while others break under the same weight? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's the mind. Most people spend their entire lives trying to fix the outside, chasing success, running from failure, hoping for peace, but nothing truly changes until the mind changes. First, because no matter how strong your body is, how full your schedule is, or how loud your ambition gets, if your mind is weak, life will control you. But when you train your mind to be steady, to respond instead of react, to stand tall when everything shakes, that's when real transformation begins. In the next few minutes, I'm not just going to motivate you. We're going to retrain the way you think, one principle at a time. So take a breath, and let's begin the journey to becoming mentally unshakable. Thank you for being part of this journey. Don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and drop this in the comments, I control my mind. Your support means everything. Let's keep growing together. Now, let's get started. Reprogram your mindset. What if the greatest battle you'll ever fight isn't in the world around you but within your own mind? Every thought you entertain, every belief you hold, is quietly shaping your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that success is out of reach, or that you'll never change, those thoughts don't just remain in your head, they become your truth. But here's the real question. What if you could rewrite that truth? You might not even realize it, but every day, you reinforce invisible barriers that keep you stuck, barriers made of doubt, hesitation, and fear. And while some people remain trapped in these limitations, others seem to navigate life with unshakable confidence. They rise above failures, adapt to challenges, and push forward when others give up. Why? It's not because they have fewer obstacles, it's because they have mastered their mind. I used to struggle with speaking up in meetings. Every time I had an idea, my mind would immediately flood with doubt. What if it's not good enough? What if people disagree? What if I embarrass myself? So I stayed quiet. I convinced myself that it was safer not to speak than to risk looking foolish. But over time, I started to notice something. The people who spoke up weren't always the smartest or the most experienced, but they had the confidence to share their thoughts. And because they spoke, they were heard. Because they contributed, they were valued. It was then that I realized the real fear wasn't about speaking, it was about how I viewed myself. Epictetus once said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them." It wasn't the meeting that held me back, it was my belief that my voice didn't matter. It wasn't the people in the room, it was the meaning I assigned to their opinions. So how do you break free from this mental prison? First, rewrite your inner dialogue. Your mind believes what you tell it. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at public speaking," say, "I am learning. Every time I speak, I gain more confidence." Instead of fearing judgment, remind yourself, "My voice deserves to be heard." Second, train your mind to focus on small wins. Start by speaking in low-stakes situations, a casual conversation, a small group discussion. Each time you contribute, your confidence builds. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to make progress. Third, question every limiting belief. The next time doubt creeps in, stop and ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it just an assumption I've carried for too long? More often than not, you'll realize that the only thing stopping you is you. The mind is your most powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest enemy. If you don't take control of your thoughts, they will take control of you. The moment you challenge the beliefs that have held you back, you take the first step toward freedom. The moment you rewrite your story, you take back your life. The choice is yours. Build unshakable self-belief. Why do some people seem to carry themselves with quiet certainty while others constantly seek reassurance? Why do some walk into a room and command respect without saying a word, while others shrink into the background even when they have something meaningful to contribute? The answer isn't found in background, education, or luck. It lies in the presence or absence of self-belief. The real problem is that many of us have never learned to believe in ourselves without external permission. From childhood, we've been conditioned to seek approval, gold stars, applause, praise. These became the signals that told us we were enough. And so, we began to tie our self-worth to outside feedback. We believed we were good only when others said so. This dependency doesn't just vanish in adulthood, it evolves. Now, it's performance reviews, social media likes, casual compliments, or silence that feels like disapproval. And when that approval is absent, self-doubt grows. The confidence you thought you had begins to crumble. I remember someone who was smart, thoughtful, and full of potential, but after facing a disappointing rejection, one project, one opportunity gone wrong, something shifted. They hesitated. They stopped taking on challenges. They avoided opportunities where failure was even a possibility. But here's what they didn't realize. Their biggest failure wasn't the rejection, it was allowing that moment to define them. How many times have you done the same? How many times have you held yourself back because of a past mistake, because of a negative comment, because of the fear that maybe, just maybe, you aren't as capable as you once thought? If you let every failure, every criticism, every rejection chip away at your self-worth, you will never develop true confidence. Because real self-belief is built from within, not from the approval of others. So how do you build unshakable self-belief? First, change your inner dialogue. Your mind absorbs what you feed it. If you constantly tell yourself you're not ready, not worthy, not capable, your brain will treat those words as instructions. But when you say, I am growing, I am capable of learning, I belong in the room, your thoughts begin to reinforce courage, not fear. It's not about lying to yourself, it's about telling a different truth, one that includes your potential, not just your past. Next, detach your worth from external opinions. Praise feels good, but it's a bonus, not a requirement. Criticism may sting, but it's not a verdict. When you stop letting the opinions of others shape the way you see yourself, you take back your power. You become steady, not swayed. You begin to recognize that the only person who needs to believe in you is you. Then, redefine what failure means to you. Most people fear failure because they see it as a statement, you're not good enough. But what if it's not a statement? What if it's a question, what are you still meant to learn? Every stumble becomes a signal, not of your limit, but of your next opportunity for growth. Those who succeed are not those who never fall, but those who keep moving through the fall, who keep learning, adjusting, rising. Finally, anchor your self-belief in something deeper, not in temporary wins or fleeting approval, but in the truth that you were made with value, created with purpose. That belief, when built on spiritual clarity or personal truth, gives you the kind of stability that no comment, no failure, no season of life can shake. Self-belief is not arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about no longer believing you are less. It's the quiet certainty that you will figure things out, that you will show up, speak up, and grow, regardless of what the world says. So stop waiting to feel confident. Stop waiting to be perfect before you begin. Confidence isn't a feeling, it's a commitment. And self-belief isn't a reward, it's a choice. Choose to trust yourself now, even while you're still becoming. Because the day you decide your worth is not negotiable is the day the world begins to see it too. Turn negativity into growth. Why is it that some people seem to rise stronger after every setback, while others remain stuck, overwhelmed by frustration and fear? We all encounter obstacles. Life doesn't grant immunity from pain, failure, or disappointment. But what if the true test isn't the hardship itself, but what you choose to do with it? Many people believe that when something goes wrong, it's a sign they're on the wrong path. They internalize failure as a personal flaw. They replay mistakes in their minds, let negative thoughts linger, and begin to carry shame that weighs heavier than the original event. In doing so, they allow hardship to define them rather than refine them. Take Oprah Winfrey. Before she became one of the most influential women in the world, she was fired from her first television job as a news anchor. Her producer told her she was unfit for TV. At the time, she was devastated. The rejection could have convinced her to give up, to walk away from media altogether. But she didn't. Instead, she asked herself, what is this teaching me? What is this moment calling me to become? That shift, choosing reflection over retreat, became the foundation for everything that followed. She took the pain, the rejection, and the doubt, and turned it into direction, into growth, into purpose. Today, that moment is not remembered as her failure, but as the moment she began to rise. Negativity only lingers when we refuse to extract its meaning. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. That isn't just philosophy, it's a mindset that transforms pain into power. So how do you begin to turn negativity into growth? First, pause. When something painful happens, resist the instinct to react. Instead, breathe and ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? That single question shifts your mindset from victim to student, from resentment to responsibility. Then, choose your environment wisely. Surround yourself with those who uplift, not those who feed fear. When you're around people who reflect strength and compassion, you begin to mirror it. Their belief in you helps you rekindle belief in yourself. Gratitude is another powerful tool. When you train your mind to notice what's still good, even in the worst days, you begin to build emotional resilience. Start small. Be thankful for the sunlight, for a calm moment, for a second chance. Gratitude doesn't eliminate hardship, but it gives you the strength to move through it. Finally, harness the power of your imagination. Visualize where you want to go, not just what you want to escape. See yourself overcoming, growing, becoming. When your vision becomes clearer than your pain, you begin to lead yourself forward. Life will present you with trials, but within each one is a lesson, a redirection, or a deepening of your strength. What matters most is not what happens, but how you choose to respond. The next time you feel stuck in disappointment or darkness, remember Oprah's story, and more importantly, remember your own capacity to rise. Because if you can see failure as a teacher, then there is nothing it can take from you, only something it can give. Master self-discipline. Why do some people follow through with their goals while others give up halfway? Why are some able to stay focused and push forward day after day, while others struggle to stay on track? The answer isn't motivation, it's self-discipline. Discipline is what turns intention into reality. Without it, even the strongest desire stays stuck in your mind, never becoming action. You may have big dreams, but without discipline, they'll remain just that, dreams. Discipline is what bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Many people think discipline means forcing yourself or living without joy, but in truth, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of inconsistency, from the pull of distractions, from the stress of always debating what to do next. When you're disciplined, you don't wait to feel like it. You act because you've chosen a path, and you stay on it. Kobe Bryant is a powerful example. He wasn't born great. He became great through effort, structure, and relentless practice. While others were relaxing, he was in the gym early, focused, committed. His success didn't come from one big moment. It came from thousands of small decisions to show up and do the work. That's what real discipline looks like. But even with a clear goal, people often lose momentum. Why? Because they rely too much on willpower. Willpower fades. That's why the key is to build habits, actions you repeat so often they become automatic. When something is a habit, you don't debate whether or not to do it, you just do it. You save your energy for growth, not resistance. Imagine starting your day without that mental tug-of-war. You don't waste time asking, should I work out today? You already know it's part of you. And when you follow through like that, you begin to trust yourself more. That trust is powerful. It builds confidence. It makes you clear, calm, and ready for challenges. Your environment plays a big role too. If you're surrounded by noise, clutter, and distractions, discipline becomes harder. But when your space supports your goals, staying consistent becomes easier. You don't have to fight your surroundings, they help carry you forward. And discipline also means learning to wait. In a world of instant gratification, most people want fast results. But real growth takes time. If you always chase quick comfort, you'll stay stuck. But when you choose to wait, to keep going even when results take time, you grow stronger. You learn patience. You become more than just someone with a dream. You become someone who is building it. Self-discipline is about making a promise to yourself and keeping it, even on the hard days, even when no one is watching. It's choosing progress over ease, growth over comfort, purpose over distraction.